Today I'll talk about an attempt to demonstrate 30 seconds fractional aim. This video was inspired by something that I read on a forum and instantly began doubting the possibilities, mostly due to the lack of belief in my own ability. Being a newer player, I've learned while using poology and fractional aim, so I have a foundation with the 4/4 aim points. The 8th are manageable, the 16th are more like, that looks about right. But 30 seconds, does that really even exist? After a few days, I realized this doubt is coming from a dude who shoots Tic Tacs while they're moving from well over a quarter mile away. Let's see what we can learn. So here we are set up. This is a 27.5-degree cut to the right. Q to 5, 5 to corner. If you were to line this up on the line of center, it would go straight in between those two golf tees into the center of the pocket. So if we were lined up in a ghost ball situation and we were to hit those two balls directly straight on, in that case, that 5 ball would travel directly in between those golf tees. Okay, perfect. So now to take this shot, I told you it was a 27.5 degree. Well, you know a half ball cut is a 30-degree cut. In this case, this is a poology half ball hit. They take into account, or the system takes into account, that 2.5 degrees. That 2.5 degrees has a measurement if you were to take it in distance at the pocket end. And we're going to get into that, and that's where the 30 seconds are going to come in. So in this case, if I take a well-placed half-ball shot, I will make it in between those two golf tees, which is right on the line of center, at the center of that pocket, with all the cut-induced throw factored in. And it'll just be a really great shot. We shouldn't rattle it, and it go right in between the golf tees, no problem. Okay, so as I said, this video is going fast. Let's get into it. So I'm going to set up a slow motion camera, and we're going to take that same 27.5 cut shot and see how much cut induced throw we got. And it would be basically using a ghost ball system.
I've recorded several slow motion examples of the process to accurately determine throw to establish a base so we can measure what a 30-second correction would be for the example shot.
Okay, so I know it's pretty easy to understand your original entrance in the straight line. This is our entrance after the cut-induced throw. And I know you're guessing, well, how can you accurately measure that? Well, that's why I took that second video. And as you can see, as I move this golf tee across on that laser line, it would be the edge of our initial entry. Once that laser grazes that, if I were to put a ball right here up against that, that would be a offset of 1.125 inches, or 1/8 inches. In that second slow motion video, you could see that that ball passed by that. So back here, the total offset or cut induced throw is 1.125 inches. Well, I know your next question is, what does that have to do with 30 seconds aiming? Well, now that we have a distance that the throw has caused over this 30-inch shot distance, now we can apply a 30 seconds fractional aim and see how much that brings it back onto our true line into the center of the pocket. Let's get into that. Just a real quick look at a couple gadgets that I use to show you fine folks a little different view and a different mindset for my instructional information that I give out. This here is a fractional aiming template in the vertical orientation, and obviously you see what's similar to a pointing arrow like you'd use in a ghost ball system on the table. On the center of that, you see a red laser pointer. That movement that you're about to see of that red laser pointer going to the left of that line That is a 30-second fractional aim change. If I went to that black line, it'd be a 16th. What we just changed was 1.35 degrees, and on a 30-inch shot, it will adjust the pocketing location by 0.72 inches. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm very sorry. This is going to have a lot of weird noise. I'm a farmer. I'm stopped for dinner and my dad's out in the field. So, and I'm getting eaten by bugs. Before the last 3 shots, I want to point blank describe what a 30-second adjustment is. If you're using fractional aiming and you have a half ball overlap and you shift left or right 1.79 millimeters, or the thickness of 2 credit cards stacked on top of one another, that is a 30-second aim change. In the upcoming shots, I've mathematically figured out the path of the object ball using the baseline information that you've seen up to this point. The golf tee that you see in the pockets, the right golf tee is the exact measurement where the ball's outermost edge should be if the cue is struck correctly. This is the best representation of what micro aiming would look like while happening in real time that I can produce. I've gone to the extreme, but it's fun to see. So I think there probably is a time and a place for 30 seconds aiming. In this shot that we've been using in the example, it does get kind of wonky because normally in the poolology, I'm shooting this a half ball shot, making it into the center of the pocket. But to create the effect that we had with Ghost Ball in the throw, and then the correction of a 1/32, so we're technically shooting this at a 17-30 seconds. I'm shooting it fuller by a 1/32 fraction using my aiming system of poolology. So 17-30 seconds, I have to aim this fuller in order to make it between those 2 golf tees, which are at 2 3/4 inches apart. So this is a pretty strange concept. Yeah. So again, normally under poolology, I would be aiming toward the center of the pocket. It can be done. Maybe I'll set up an example. I have one in mind that would be a good example down the rail. Okay, I have set up, in my opinion, what would be an optimal situation for a 30-second fractional adjustment. We're aiming a 9 ball into this corner pocket. The optimum pocket entry line would be where that 8 ball is simulating right there. You'll notice that we're just missing the tee that's lined up on the rail. We do not want to hit that. Well, we want to optimize our chances of making this. So if I miss that golf tee, that would be center pocket. We have room for the most deviation. Those who follow poolology will note that this is a zone C shot, so we should make this 9 without contacting that tee. Okay, that was a good shot. So now, why 30-second fractional aim adjustment? Well, in this case, that optimum pocket usage or that half ball hit could be obstructed by a ball. A 30-second fractional aim changes the degree by 1.35. Over 44 inches, that changes it 1 inch. So what we're aiming for, 1 inch, would bring us off of this rail and carom off that 8 into the corner with our object ball, and then hopefully onto the wind. So hopefully we can make our adjustment from a 1/2 fraction down to a 17-30 seconds, which would be hitting it slightly fatter, driving it into the rail, and go on to victory. Of course I know you cannot spend all the time that I did throughout the video to configure every 30-second shot you take. It's not going to happen. Higher level and pro players, they have different names for it. It's called instinctual aiming, seeing the angles, feeling the shot, just to name a few. Whatever it is, it will have to come from quality time at the table. However, the benefits for newer players learning about micro aiming are very important and helpful. Pockets will play larger. You'll start to see the pocket in sections rather than just one place to pot the ball. You may start with the left side, move to the right side, break it in thirds, and progress from there. Another aha moment will be when you start to make the connection between angle changes. I'll use a quick rudimentary example. Think of it as a visual representation of what instinctual aiming looks like. Start with your original shot line, make your 30-second fractional adjustment, factor your 135-degree change, and this is the base to what gives you your new estimated pocketing location. That super basic example that you just watched is the core of what you've been watching this whole time. I calculated the shot, put the golf tee where the math indicated, and showed you the shot. A couple of you may be thinking acute isosceles triangle, but most of you be like, yeah, but when you change the Q input, nothing stays the same. And to that, I say, bingo, the biggest lesson of all. Nothing happens without the Q, and the Q needs you. That's catchy. Errors in delivery can easily override a 30-second adjustment. It all hinges on your ability to deliver with consistency. Now in the video, you'll see a section where I had a split screen. There were two shots, days apart, different fractional aim points. Consistent delivery is consistent results. On that note, to the increasing amount of viewers watching from the Philippines, I'd like to say, Salamang po. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.